Hi guys, I'm here today to do my second weekly makeup basket. First, I want to go over some items that I'm pulling out from last week, and then we can go over some repeats and some new items. The first item that I'm pulling out is the Becca Bronzing Skin Perfector. This is a nice bronzing primer. I really enjoy it and I will probably go back to it in the future. However, I do have two deluxe size sample of primers in for my Finish 5 by Fall, so I do need to get started on those. So I'm pulling that out for the time being. The second item I'm pulling out is my Illamasqua blush in the shade Tweak. This is a bright, hot reddish pink. It's a bit more red than it's showing up on camera. On camera it looks like a candy pink, but it's a bit more red in real life. I used this several times this week. I used it twice mixed with my Josie Maran Argan Infinity Creamy Oil to make a cream blush, and I used it once as a powder blush when I was touching up later in the day. And it's a really beautiful blush, but I do want to try out other blushes that I have right now and just see what I like and what I don't like. The other item that's going back in my makeup collection is the Fiorine Eyeshadow Mini in Witchy Woodland Creatures. This was a nice taupey shade. I just wanted to use it once this week and I did. It was really pretty. It actually ended up being a little bit darker on the eye than I thought it would be, but it's still beautiful and still very wearable. But I just want to make sure that I'm trying out all my different eyeshadows and I'm not just sticking with one and, using it all the time. So I really want to just experiment more with my collection, at least at this time. The other item that I'm pulling out is my Tarte Mini Mascara. This is a Lights Camera Lashes deluxe size sample. I got this for free when I worked at Sephora, so it's pretty old, and I just had to keep dipping back in the bottle. I mean, it still looks like there's plenty of product, but I had to keep dipping back in, and I just don't have time for that. So I moved on to another sample of a mascara, and that probably was open before, and I just never finished using it, or it just went back into my makeup collection. I'm also pulling out my two MAC lipsticks that I had in last week. The first one that I had in was MAC Pure Zen, which is just a nice pinky nude color. The other lipstick I'm pulling out is MAC Candy Yum Yum. This is a bright hot pink. I enjoyed both of these. I actually really enjoyed them together. There you can see I mixed them together for you, and I would put on Pure Zen first and then just do one light coat of Candy Yum Yum and sort of mush my lips together. That's a very technical term. Mush my lips together, and it would create this really nice sort of bright coral, bright kind of a very pinky coral, and I call that color Palm Beach Pink. I don't know, I think I read that somewhere, I heard it somewhere, and it just always seemed very appropriate. So that's the color that I wore on my lips a lot this week. So those are the items that I'm pulling out this week. Let's talk about some of the items that are repeats and some of the items that are going to be new features. So you saw last time I had my MAC Prep and Prime sample. This is going to be my only primer this week. I do need to make some headway on it for my Finish 5 by Fall. I also am keeping in my e.l.f. Hydrating Under Eye Primer. I only use that about twice. To be honest, I just forgot about it, so I need to try that out a little bit more before I can decide if I like it or not. I'm also going to be adding in my Giorgio Armani Fluid Sheer in number 2. This is a deluxe size sample. It's their highlighting fluid. I have it on today over that MAC primer. I did not have a foundation in last week, but I was sort of missing that, so I decided to put in a tinted moisturizer. This is the Philosophy No Reason to Hide Instant Skin Tone Perfecting Moisturizer SPF 20. And this is in the shade Light. I received this when I worked at Sephora and gratis, and it expires in June, so I would like to get some use out of it. I don't think I used it at all. I thought it was just a moisturizer with sunscreen. I didn't realize that it was like an actual BB cream or tinted moisturizer. I'm keeping in my Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer in Extra Light, but I'm also going to be throwing in two extra concealer type products. The first one is the Giorgio Armani Corrector in number 2, and then this is Bare Minerals Stroke of Light Brightener in 01 Luminous Light, I believe. So I'm actually wearing these two under my eyes today, if you want to get a look. So I put the orange corrector right there, and then let it sit for a little bit, and then I pat it out with my ring finger, and then I put the Bare Minerals Stroke of Light over that. It's a lot more of a natural look than the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, which is a little yellow for my skin tone. So it's a more natural look, but it still manages to conceal fairly well for me. So I'm gonna try that out this week and see how I feel about those products. For powders, I still have my Laura Geller Balance and Brighten. This is in my Finish 5 by Fall. I'm also adding in this mini Hourglass ambient lighting powder in Dim Light. It's just a travel size. For bronzers, I have my Bare Minerals Buxom bronzer that I'm still working on, and for powder highlights, my MAC Pressed Pigment in Vanilla. For blushes, I have my Becca Beach Tint Shimmer Souffle in Watermelon Moonstone, and I really enjoy this blush. It smells lovely, it's very easy to wear, and it's just, you know, it's still summer, so I'm still going to enjoy this. If I want to do more of a look like I'm doing today, I have this Burberry Earthy Blush, which is just a deluxe size sample. Want to try that one out and see what I think of it. For eyes, is that the one I'm at next? Yes, for eyes, I have my Too Faced Shadow Insurance as my eye primer. For my cream base, I'm still using my Estee Lauder Double Wear in Silver Leaf. That's what's giving my looks like an overall more taupey look. I also put in this L'Oreal Infallible in Gilded Envy as sort of a topper, or if I just want, I don't know, more of a metallic look, I put this in. I'm still keeping in my Naked 2 palette, so this is still in here because I'm working on that in a Pan That palette, and I'll link my intro video below if I didn't put that in. I also decided to add in this, I call it my unknown quad. Basically 3 out of the 4 colors in here, I have no idea what they are. I kind of think they're Max Factor from when Max Factor used to sell in the States when I was in high school, which was like 10 years ago. Yes, but this, I wanted to use this olive green and this gold color. They're both beautiful colors. You can see they still have good pigmentation. They're a bit powdery, but you know, if they're 10 years old, that's okay. So I want to use those. This is an e.l.f. shade Moonstruck, I believe, and then this is also Unknown